Good morning, welcome to Mastering the Emotional Mind. I'm your host, Lou Lagan, transformation coach and mentor. This morning I'm going to be talking about what happens if you get stuck and you hit a plateau. So please do pop in the comments if this resonates with you, if you've got any questions about it, and feel free to share if you feel anybody else would benefit from watching it. So the transformation continues for myself, and there's been an awful lot going on inside. And I know that there's lots changing, new connections being made, new processes, new pathways being built, which is all great. But the other side of the coin is that over the last couple of weeks, this week in particular, I felt really stuck. Not in terms of weight release, that's going ahead as planned. It's continuing to release in line with the targets I've set myself. Movement's increasing, that's great. But something's just not been in alignment, and I felt really stuck and frustrated and angry, quite grumpy as well. Although I have to say, getting a new hat and making sure it's a silly hat that actually fits, it's very hard to be grumpy with a silly hat on. So, what's been happening? We hit these plateaus, we achieve a phenomenal amount of change, and when we hit these plateaus, the emotional mind kind of takes over and it shuts everything else down. And it shuts down our rational thinking brain and just focuses on the emotion. Now, last night, or in the early hours to be more precise, I had a little bit of an awakening thanks to my coach, recognising that this is a plateau and not being scared of it. Changing how I look at it, changing how I view it, which lens I use to look at it. So I was looking through a lens of frustration and worry and a bit of concern. Am I still going to be able to do everything that I want to do? And is this a sign that things are going to go wrong and it's not going to work? Or do I choose to look at it with curiosity? And when we look at something with curiosity, there isn't room for doubt, there isn't room for worry, there isn't room for any of that inner talk or fear. We just become curious as to what opportunities this could lead to. So I adopted that switch, and I also took the time to refocus on what I have achieved and the difference that's made. Not the numbers, not the amount released or the number of steps completed, but the differences it has made in my life on a day-to-day basis and how I feel about those, focusing in on the positive feelings that have ensued. And the other element of it has now been recognising that all the work I did to set my goals and create my vision and create the daily habits to align with them. So I'm just changing hands because it's so warm and cold and I haven't got my gloves on. Forward planning. Changing those goals in a way that feels more aligned. Now, these are massive changes. The same reasons why I do what I do remain. But the daily process goals, they're changing. What I do on a daily basis to achieve the longer term vision hasn't been feeling aligned. So, time to change it. It's always sometimes, when we let something go, we can easily focus on that, but actually we could choose to embrace what we're bringing in instead. So there are some tweaks that I'm going to need to make to my day plans for this year, both in what I'll be focusing on within my business and what I'll be delivering both as a coach and as a trainer. So there needs to be changes in the daily habits that I carry out to enable me to fulfill those. And it took a while to get there, but that's okay because I'm there now and I can start moving forward. So whatever change or transformation you're attempting and you're going through, when you hit a plateau, I invite you to choose curiosity. I invite you to celebrate all of the successes that you've had. And I invite you to review what you're doing daily to see if it's still aligned and it still serves you. And the final invitation, have a fabulous day, and remember to include some silliness. I think I've got mine covered with the hat. Take care, guys.